It's the Raider way. Pride, poise, passion.
He faced and overcame impossible odds to arrive at this point in his journey as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, and we'll cover that at the end. But just how good was Antonio Pierce as a player? Before being a Raider and helping the Chiefs win Super Bowl 58 by kicking their butt, he was a Super Bowl champion himself with the New York Giants. But before he was a Giant, he was an undrafted free agent and a community college athlete hungry for an opportunity to prove he belonged in the NFL. This is the incredible story of Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce was born in Long Beach, California on October 26, 1978. As a youth, Antonio grew up in the streets of Compton, a city in Los Angeles famously known for the Rodney King riots in 1992. Pierce was just an early teen at the time. The city has one of the highest crime rates in America, and a significant portion of the population lives near or below the poverty line. Compton is the birthplace of musical artists such as Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, and Kendrick Lamar. Compton has also produced notable athletes such as DeMar DeRozan, Richard Sherman, Larry Allen, and tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams. But Antonio didn't make it out of Compton easy or unscathed. He and his friends were constantly in a survival mode, as there were gangs on every corner. The dangers were all around, and for many of his friends, they got caught up in the traps of the city. But thankfully for Antonio, football was his escape. He started to take football very seriously in high school, where he played linebacker and fullback at Paramount High near Compton, California. Pierce had collegiate hopes after a solid senior season as a Paramount Pirate, earning all CIF Southern Section Division II honors. Despite some on-field success, it did not result in any offers to play Division I football at first. Pierce settled to play football at a community college, Mount San Antonio College in Walnut, California. As a sophomore in 1997, Pierce helped lead Mount SAC to the CCCAA State Championship, even clinching the game for the Mounties, intercepting a pass in the fourth quarter, securing a 38-35 win. Big-time players make big-time plays. AP finally got his break after impressing at the JUCO level. He transferred to the University of Arizona to finish his college career, hoping to fulfill his dream of becoming an NFL player. Pierce became a starter for the Wildcats in his senior year. In the 2000 season, Pierce had 3 sacks, 77 tackles, 10 TFLs, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception, earning an honorable mention on the All-Pac-10 team. After his respectable senior season at Arizona, Pierce declared for the 2001 NFL Draft, but to his surprise and disappointment, Pierce went undrafted. Many pro scouts considered Pierce too undersized to play linebacker in the NFL. Fortunately for Pierce, the Washington Redskins took a chance on him, signing him as an undrafted free agent. Pierce earned a spot on Washington's 53-man roster in his rookie season. He even started half the games, recording 52 tackles, 2 TFLs, 1 sack, and 1 interception. Despite his solid rookie season, Pierce barely saw any action his next 2 seasons due to Washington signing All-Pro linebacker Jeremiah Trotter. In 2004, Trotter was released. The middle linebacker position was up for grabs. However, another veteran linebacker, Michael Barrow, won the job. That is, until Barrow suffered a season-ending injury, giving Antonio Pierce the opportunity he's been yearning for. AP would not disappoint. In his first full season as an NFL starter, he recorded 114 tackles. He also forced 1 fumble, got 1 sack, and intercepted 2 passes, one of which he returned 76 yards for a touchdown off of 49ers quarterback Ken Dorsey. Antonio Pierce finished the season top 15 in total tackles, proving that he was talented enough to play with the big boys. When things weren't going his way, he continued to put in the work until he got his chance. He was a hidden gem for Washington, but his time there came to an end. His rookie contract concluded. It was perfect timing for Pierce, as he got his chance on the open market to find a better opportunity in free agency. The divisional rival New York Giants gave Pierce an offer he couldn't refuse. The Giants were coming off a 6-10 season and needed help, so they signed Antonio to a 6-year, $26 million contract to anchor their defense. Number 58 quickly got to work and was immediately named a team captain. His first season as a Giant was productive, productive and impactful as the Giants improved to 11-5, and Pierce recorded 100 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble return for a touchdown in only 13 games. Unfortunately, Pierce missed the season's final 3 games and the Giants' lone playoff game with a leg injury. It became obvious how important Antonio Pierce had become for New York's defense as they would lose that playoff game 26-0. Pierce returned completely healthy for the following season. 2006 was Pierce's best season statistically as he put up a career-high 139 tackles. He also added a sack, an interception, and 8 pass deflections, earning a Pro Bowl nod. This season truly cemented Antonio Pierce as one of the best linebackers in all of football and as the captain of one of the best defenses in the game. Pierce's value was rising. However, the Giants barely got into the playoffs with an 8-8 record and lost to the Eagles 23-20 in their lone playoff game. Entering the 2007 season, the vibe around the Giants was a make-or-break season. The roster was talented, but the results were disappointing. Eli Manning wasn't proving to be anything special, almost throwing as many interceptions as he did touchdowns. The Giants' defense held their own and was loaded with talent alongside Pierce. They had Michael Strahan, Osi Umenyiora, Justin Tuck up front, and Corey Webster, Sam Madison, and Gabriel Wilson on the back end. In this season, Pierce would continue his Pro Bowl-level play, tackling 102 ball carriers, recording 1 sack, 1 interception, and 2 fumble recoveries, but his real success would come in the playoffs. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, become a subscriber and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. Wildcard weekend saw the Giants and AP win their first playoff game under head coach Tom Coughlin 24-14 over John Gruden and his Buccaneers. The following week, AP and the Giants beat the NFC East Division winning Dallas Cowboys and Tony Romo 21-17 after stringing together a fourth-quarter comeback. At this point, AP and the Giants were feeling the pressure of being 1 game away from the chance to win it all as they headed to Lambeau to face the NFC favorites Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers took an early 10-6 lead in the second quarter and looked to extend their lead before the half. However, Antonio Pierce would come to play, bringing down running back Brandon Jackson on a 3rd and 8 screen for a huge stop, forcing Green Bay to take a field goal. This game would ultimately end up going to overtime, being tied up at 20 at the end of regulation. After getting a massive stop, the Giants would win the game 23-20. Antonio Pierce and the Giants were on their way to the Super Bowl, but the team they would face was the ultimate juggernaut in the undefeated 18-0 New England Patriots. Fans and experts everywhere gave New York a slim to none chance to win this game, but Eli Manning, Tom Coughlin, and the New York Giants would make history, defeating Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the Goliath New England Patriots 17-14 after a huge fourth quarter, including massive stops from Pierce and the defense and heroic plays from Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning and David Tyree, Super Bowl champions. Pierce would get his ring after playing a massive part in their miracle run. Pierce's playing career would end only 3 short years later due to injuries and father time. Pierce played in 115 games with 85 starts, totaling 732 tackles, 462 solo, 8 sacks, 7 interceptions, 8 forced fumbles, and 11 fumble recoveries. Antonio Pierce retired as a Giant. After his playing days, Pierce entered the coaching world, coaching at his college rival Arizona State for 4 years from 2018 to 2021 before joining the Raiders coaching staff, where he notoriously became the coolest NFL head coach in 2023. Antonio Pierce has brought hope to Raider Nation and the entire roster. The energy and aura are reminiscent of the good old days when the Raiders dominated the NFL in the 1970s and early 80s. It's exciting to see what AP and the Raiders will do. The team is loaded with talent, especially on the defensive side. Homegrown talent and scraps have formed a scary unit that will wreak havoc on the league. Max Crosby leads the D-line, and his insane work ethic has been infectious for the entire team. Malcolm Kuntz has found himself, and Tyree Wilson is ready to show all the haters how good he can become. Nate Hobbs and the DB room are underrated. Robert Spillane is bringing his lunch pail to the party, but we haven't even talked about the offense yet. Weapons are no issue for the offense. Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers are ready to cook opposing DBs, and don't sleep on Trey Tucker. He's ready to burn you too. Michael Meyer and Brock Bowers form an elite 1-2 punch of their own at the tight end position. The only concern is whether the play caller and quarterback can be on the same page and utilize all of this talent. Can AP get the best out of the Raiders? We'll soon find out, but now you know how good of a player Antonio Pierce was. Let us know in the comments if we missed any important facts, or do you think the Raiders will finally dethrone Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs for good? Thank you for watching the Halftime Show. See you in the next one.